Welcome back, once again, adventurers, to Let's Play Chaos Child. In the last episode, Takuru and Hinae were being hunted by Riko Haida, but this time things unfolded a little differently. Instead of vanishing into thin air like she did previously, this time uh, Riko was actually incapacitated for a brief spell by Takuru's psychokinetic powers, allowing both himself and Tanai to ultimately escape her clutches. And with some clever misdirection on his part, Takuru was able to thread his way through the alleyways with Tanai in tow, and finally get back to his sanctorum in Miyashita Park. But as we've seen before, Riko Haida isn't one to give up quite so easily when she is after her quarry. We listened carefully to the sounds around us as we caught our breaths. If we heard her footsteps, we'd recognize them immediately. Yeah, convenient, the fact that she can only really hobble on one leg. But then again, that hasn't stopped her from coming after us in the past. We could hear the sound of police sirens in the distance. I hoped that the police would catch her and take her away. Yes, regular police officers versus pyrokinetic gigolomaniac. As I said before, not liking those odds. We just stood there, frozen in prayer as we waited for time to pass. 5 minutes. And then 10. It wasn't long at all, but it felt like an eternity.
さすがにこれだけ待っても来ないならもう大丈夫だろう。
Well, I actually did manage to run through a labyrinth of side alleys and everything, so that strategy must have paid off. I took a deep breath. All the tension drained from my body, and I slowly sat on the ground. Still can't risk turning the lights on just yet.
もう大丈夫でしょうか。
As, yeah, Adimura asks. I should really stop talking whenever this happens, but anyway. But to answer Arimura's question there, as I was about to, we're about as safe can be for the present moment.
多分
そうですか。
But that doesn't mean that our ordeal is over completely. Anyway, that woman, who we originally believed to be Senri Minamisawa, Kurisu's childhood friend, that, I suppose fortunately is the right word to use, that wasn't the case. Was she the one behind the murders? No. Riko Haida is nothing more than an unwitting pawn in that scheme. Then what was her connection to the facility under the hospital? It's a very good question because, like Senri Minamisawa, Riko Haida was also being kept beneath AH Tokyo General Hospital and experimented on for her latent gigolomaniac abilities. Or was she acting on her own? No. To answer your question there, Takuru, no, she isn't. As I said before, she is a pawn. There still wasn't enough information to tell, at this moment in time, that is, given the sequence of events.
先輩、
何？
もうそろそろ いいんじゃないかと。
You think so?
だからもう大丈夫だってさっき言ったじゃないか。
いえ、そういうことではなくてですね。その手を。
手？
はい、ずっと握ったままなので。
Well, Takuru was pretty much dragging her all the way through the streets, trying to escape. I've been so desperate to get away from that woman that I hadn't realized it, but it looked like I've been holding Arimoda's hand the whole time. And it wasn't just her hand. She and I were incredibly close. I quickly jumped back.
こんな暗いところに連れ込んで、もしかして先
言っておくが、わざとじゃないからな。変な意味で握ってたわけじゃないからな。
輩。わかってます。先輩って見るからにそういうの得意じゃなさそうだし。
Well, Hinae must be feeling better because she's gone back into her usual, jovial exterior there.
なんだと？
なんていうのかな。ほら、女の子慣れしてないっていうか。
待て待て待て、僕を見くびってもらっちゃ困るな。言っとくけどこれでも僕はリア充だぞ。
リア充ですか？
The term didn't seem to mean anything to her. I would beg to differ. I think she knows exactly what it means.
そう、わかる？リア充。リアルが充実してるって意味。いいか、アリメルがどう思っているのか知らないけど、女の子の扱いについては僕はこれでも。
You say that, but I'm afraid to burst your bubble there and inform you once again that Cool Cat Press doesn't count.
っていうか、なんなんですかここ。
And I looking around at her surroundings for the first time.
人の話を聞けよ。
And completely ignoring Takuru in the process. Arimura had stood up and started to look around the dark room.
痛い。なんか蹴っちゃった。
おいおい、勝手に動き回って人の家の中のもの壊すんじゃない。
家？
It's more of an RV trailer than a
そう
house,
だよ。
but
ここは僕の家。わかるか？つまり今僕が住んでいるところという意味だ。
yeah. Here being Miyashita Park and not Aoba Dorm. I decided it was probably safe now and turned on the lights.
へえ。
Now that she could see, Arimura was looking around the room in surprise. And no surprise ambush from Riko, so I guess we are in the clear for tonight at least. She seemed a lot less on edge than usual, probably because she was pretty sure the woman wasn't going to come after us anymore. Oh, there's still many more days and nights after this one. We're not out of the woods just yet.
喉乾いてるだろ？
I opened up the fridge and took out 2 plastic bottles. Then I handed one to her. Well, we're probably very dehydrated after
ありがとうございます。
after running such an incredibly long distance. She opened the bottle and took a big swig of it.
ようやく生きてるって実感が湧いてきたな。
なんですかこれ。
マウンテンビューだよ。知らないのか？マウンテンビューは日本で一番カフェインの含有量が多くて、頭脳の覚醒作用を促すことにおいては。
Yeah, trust Takuru Miyashiro of all people not to give Hinae Arimoto water to actually to drink, but oh well.
え
Arimoto ignored me, even though I was in the middle of my lecture, and grimaced with her mouth still full of Mountain Dew. Evidently, she didn't like it. And I'll go so far to say that I tried it once, a long time ago, and I didn't like it either.
ここってトレーラーハウスですか？
Again, it's not so much a house.
いや、トレーラーハウスっていうのは、ある程度の期間一つの場所に定住するのを目的としたもので、どちらかというと車輪のついた家のことを言う。それに比べてこの家は移動することを目的とした宿泊施設のついた車と考えるべきで、そうした場合はキャンピングカーと言った方が正しい。
You know that Ace Attorney meme about stepladders? That's kind of what's coming to mind now as Takuru explains the difference between a trailer house and a camping car.
ちなみに一言にキャンピングカーといっても、専用の車体を利用したフルコンとか、バンやボックスカーの内部を改装して居住空間を作ったバンコンなど、いろいろあって、この家の場合は、
I hate to break it to you, Takuru, but this is definitely a trailer, not a car or a van or a
ど
box.
うして先輩はこんな家に住んでるんですか？
Or do you believe that it's a very long story? Would you please let me finish?
宮代先輩ってクルス先輩と兄弟っていうか、確か弟さんでしたよね、施設の。
No to the first question, yes to the second.
あれはクルスが勝手に弟だって言ってるだけだよ。まあ何年か同じ施設で育ったのは確かだけど。
I would have preferred that she didn't ask me any more questions about that. If she asked, I'd have to tell her about what happened.
そうなんすね。
Huh?
そうなんすねって聞かないのか？
何をですか？
だから僕とクルスの関係とか、なんで僕だけここで暮らしてるのかとか。
聞きませんよ。だって先輩聞かれたくないでしょ？
Huh. It seems that Hinae Arimoto is actually fairly astute and intuitive.
どうしてそう思う？もしかして。
Maybe it was her power. No, her power to distinguish truth from lies is not what's at work here. In reality, Hinae Arimoto isn't actually the type of person to pry into other people's affairs.
残念ながら違います。私の能力はただその人の言葉が真実かどうかわかるだけで、相手が何を考えているのかまではわかりませんから。
And of course, someone else has the convenient power of telepathy. Then how did she know?
でもその代わりに人の気持ちっていうのに敏感になって、 だからその人が何を考えてるかっていうのはなんとなくわかるようになっちゃったんですよね。
Yeah, basically she's good at reading people's emotions on top of that.
もちろんそれもわかりやすい人とわかりにくい人とがいますけど。
つまり僕は分かりやすいってことか。
Yeah, pretty much. Given the fact that it's usually written all over your face there, Takuru.
さあ、どうでしょう。
And Hinae being coy as ever.
冗談を言ってもらっちゃ困るな。僕の思考は複雑で、ちょっとやそっとじゃ思考を読むなんてできないはずだ。
I don't think now is the time to go into full-blown Chunibu mode there, Takuru Miyashita, and in any event, I'm pretty sure that Hinae's power would allow her to see through that particular facade.
へえ。
なんだよ。
いえ、自分では本気でそう思ってるんだなーって。
自分ではってなんだよ。
それじゃあさっきの話聞いてもいいんですか？
それは。
She got you there, Takuru. Maybe it was easy to tell what I was thinking.
じゃあその代わり別のこと聞いてもいいっすか？
別のこと？
先輩ってリア充なんでしたよね。
その話だよ。僕はリア充なんだ。だから女の子の扱いに関しては。
リア充ってこういう本読むものなんすか
Arimura picked up one of the magazines scattered at her feet. Well, it was nice knowing you, Takuru Miyashiro. Your life is now officially doomed.
クールキャットプレス、女の子との出会いからエッチまで。
Like I said, doomed. Very doomed. I quickly reached out to grab it, but she dodged me easily.
なに南方健二先生、僕は彼女ができません。どうすればいいですか？女は部屋に呼んで押し倒せば言うことを聞く。
読むなってば。
Too late. I reached out my hand again to grab the magazine from her. But I'd run so far and was so exhausted that even that was enough to throw me off balance. Oh no. And as a result...
う
Yeah, as a result, this happens. Why was she looking at me that way? Maybe it's because you tripped, lost your balance, and pretty much fell on top of her. Wait, this was just like...
まさか先輩。
違う。
Oh wait. Did I really not? Minami Kata had said it after all. I wouldn't necessarily take that as advice. I wouldn't even call it that either. If you pin a woman down, she'll do whatever you want. Not how that works. And she actually wanted you to. I didn't actually believe it, but You definitely shouldn't believe it. But maybe it was true and I just didn't know it? Yeah, better to put the kibosh on that one. Then maybe... I leapt off her and started to grab the magazines off of the floor. Good call there, Takuru. Very good call.
その雑誌
これは違うんだ。
I'd screwed up. Now you did more than that. I'd never imagined that a younger girl would see these. Aside, of course, from Serika, and if Kurusu ever found out about them, Takuru would never hear the end of it.
違うって何がですか？
だから。
Oh, right. No matter what kind of excuse I came up with, Arimura would realize that it was a lie. Yeah. Not going to be able to talk you out of this one easily. Euglomaniacs. What an obnoxious power. And also very convenient at times. When it counts.
何笑ってるんだよ。
ほんと先輩ってわかりやすいなと思って。
Yeah, pretty much.
悪かったな、わかりやすくて。
別に悪くはないですって。私にとってはその方が付き合いやすいですし。あ、付き合うって言っても別に変な意味じゃないですからね。
念を押さなくったってそれくらい分かってるよ。
Even I wasn't dumb enough to misunderstand that.
だったらいいんですけど。
So do I. Arimura slowly stood up and looked out the window. You could still hear the faint noises of police and fire truck sirens in the distance. Yeah, Riko's still setting things on fire, possibly enraged for failing to get Takuru and Hinae on this evening. But as I said before, this is only one such evening. Come to think of it, I'd already forgotten that I'd almost died out there. Why? No, there was no need to ask why. It was because of Arimura. Her jovial nature, taking our minds off the situation. At least temporarily. If I were alone here, I'd probably still be shaking. I wasn't trying to say that after what happened. Arimura was now someone special to me or anything like that. But in the past few hours, the thick wall between the two of us felt like it had gotten a little thinner.
さてと、それじゃあ私はそろそろ。
帰るのか？
いつまでもここにいるわけにもいられないですし、それとも泊まっていけとでも言います？
No, if you have a place on your own, probably should stay there instead. Damn it, she was making fun of me. That's what she does best.
大丈夫です。一応人気のありそうなところを通って帰りますから。さすがにこの騒ぎの中、ことを起こすとも思えないですし。
Given the fact that she can clearly manipulate fire, I wouldn't put it past her not doing anything. Well, I would say that I can't imagine her not doing anything. She was probably right, I thought. Probably being the operative word, but...
送っていこうか。
I think that right there would just put us back into the situation we were before we got to safety.
どうしてですか？
心配だからに決まってるだろ。
心配？私が？
一応それでも女の子だからな。送っていくのは男の役目だろ。
Not the best reason to give, it has to be said. That's what Cool Cat Press had said. Again, questionable that you actually listen to them.
もしかしてそれもあの雑誌の受け売りですか？
Yes, he did.
違う。
Obvious lie is obvious.
先輩ってやっぱりわかりやすい。
Damn it, I give up.
それもあるけど、やっぱり危ないと思って。何？
それは本当なんだ。
Indeed he is.
は？
This time.
いえ、何でもお気持ちだけいただいておきます。
He is genuinely concerned about Hinae's safety after all. Arimura cheerfully walked toward the exit and stopped and turned around before she got to the door.
今日はありがとうございました。先輩のおかげで助かりました。ということにしておきます。ではでは、アディオスグラッシャー。
Adios gracias. She bowed her head slightly and left. Also, quick question. Does Hinae Arimura actually know Spanish or just those two words?
チェ、
Probably the
してお
latter.
きますは余計だろ。
Strangely though, it didn't bother me as much as her finding out about the Cool Cat Press magazines, of course. Anyway.
ギガロマニアックス。ねえ。
I'd use some kind of power to control that woman's flames. Arimura had said that was my power. But that was the only time I'd been able to use it. Let's try this again. I took a deep breath to calm myself. My power. At first it was so hazy I had to focus to see it at all, but it is there. Gradually it began to form a definite shape in the corner of my eye. It was twisted yet beautiful, disgusting yet pure. Its very presence was so overwhelming that it was impossible to believe it belonged to this world. Fun fact, it doesn't belong to this world. I reached out my hand fearfully, but I couldn't even touch it. What had I done before? That's right, when she attacked me with her flames, Yeah, thing about that power of yours, needs more than one person to use it. Was this my... It was just a message. That scared me. It was from Arimura. I made it home safe. Good to know. I was surprised she'd be thoughtful enough to let me know. Either way, I was glad nothing had happened. For now, at least. After I put down the phone, I tried a lot of different ways to strengthen my power, and then at some point I fell asleep. I wouldn't know until morning what had happened to the woman after that. And it seems like we have a transition on our hands, and I believe that is a good place to end this episode of Let's Play ChäoS Child. And when we return, adventurers, we will find out what exactly transpired in said transition. And learn something, possibly learn something that we didn't already know previously. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.